I made this for the first time and it turned out to be awesome. Watch this video to find out how to make Korean street toast. Thanks for joining and thanks in advance for liking and subscribing to my channel. Here we go. So we're going to start by prepping our vegetables. So I've got what'll end up being a 1/4 cup of carrots, a handful of cabbage, and a green onion. And I'm just going to give myself a flat surface on that carrot and then just cut thin slices, being very careful not to lose a finger. But hey, let's fast forward through this part for you. And now the same thing with the cabbage, just gonna look for some thin strips. And now a green onion. Get the top out of the way there, or the bottom I should say. I'm going to do the white and the green. Okay, so now we're going to get all of this in a bowl. And I'm going to toss some salt on this. And that will make these veggies kind of pliable and get them ready for the next step. So, just a pinch. Couple of pinches really, and the dog had something to say, so we're just going to leave that while I get the next components ready, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're going to crack a couple of eggs into our salted veggies. It's probably been about 10 minutes. I could have let it go a little bit longer in the salt, but it'll be all right. There we go. And we'll break those up, and we're just going to mix that around and get all of the eggs incorporated, all of the egg incorporated with the veggies. As usual, I didn't get a big enough bowl. Alright, that'll do it. So we're going to head over to the stove now. So I'm going to reset the camera and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're going to start by toasting some bread in this butter in a non-stick skillet. So what I'm going to do is just get one side in the butter and then flip it and do the same thing. And I'm going to quote Chef John on Food Wishes. Don't make the mistake of using bread that has any nutritional value whatsoever. So there we go. Let this toast up. And we'll speed through this. I'm just going to keep flipping it back and forth just so I don't burn it, and eventually have both sides of the bread toasted. All right, so that is going to almost do it, I think. Got my skillet on medium, by the way. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side just on a wire rack just to avoid sogginess. A wire rack in a pan. And we're going to throw down a little more butter. And as that gets foamy, we have our egg and vegetables. We're going to dump in. There we go. And we're just going to spread that out, get that butter mixed in. And so we sort of want this in a square, about the size of our bread, a little bit bigger, make the thumbnail look good probably. And we just want to let that firm up. Just as that egg runs out of there, kind of train it back to stay in this patty type shape. I might try to cut this in half for flipping, actually. Might make it easier. There we go. And now we're just going to flip this over, just like a veggie omelet. Perfect color. At least, I've never had this before, but at least on the pictures I've seen, perfect color. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. I've never had this before, let alone made it. There we go. Lost a few of our veggies, but that's okay. I'll let that go for another minute and firm up that other side. And just before we take it off, we're going to add something. And from what I hear, you can't skip this step, as weird as it might sound. I've got some white granulated sugar. We're going to sprinkle a little bit on top of each of these. So there we go. And now we're calling it. We're going to move that to our rack. And our last step, I'm going to turn my heat down because it's already, pan's already pretty warm. We have 2 pieces of ham, and again, doesn't need to be real ham, just that pressed ham from Oscar Mayer. I'm actually going to separate these and let them brown a little bit. I should have done that. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and flip. Let them go for a minute or two on each side, get a little brown. spatula makes this hard. There we go. All right, now we're sort of gonna pile them up. And again, just some American cheese, nothing fancy. Gonna let that get hot, melt a little bit. All right, gonna pull this off and get it on our rack, and then we're gonna go assemble our Korean street toast. See you in a minute. All right, let's assemble our Korean street toast. So we're gonna start out with one of our halves of bread, or one of our pieces of bread. And I should have brought my spatula, but I didn't. And then our first egg patty with the ham and cheese on top. And then our second egg patty, and by the way, the sugar on both of those. There we go. And our other bread half. And this is the important part. I've got some ketchup here. We're just gonna give a little squirt. And some mayonnaise. And I wish I had a squirt bottle of mayonnaise, because in the authentic versions it's squirted just like the ketchup, but I don't. So we're just gonna spread, and there we go. How did I have that bread? There we go. And there's our Korean street toast. Let's cut that. Here we go. So I hope that's coming through on the camera. Looks really good. I'm gonna cut this the other way as well and get my thumbnail, and then we'll come back and try this on camera. So see you in a minute. All right, Buckeye Barbecue Jr. wanted to be on camera trying this. I have to admit, I told him he had to like it if he was trying it on camera, but I don't mean that. If he hates it, he can say so. It smells really good. We're both gonna try it now. First time Korean street toast. Strangely, it works. A little skillet toasted bread, some carrots, cabbage, and green onions in eggs, fried up with sugar, ham and cheese, ketchup and mayonnaise. That's pretty freaking good. Give this a try sometime. See you next time at Buckeye Barbecue. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. And leave a comment if you tried this and how you liked it. It's pretty freaking good.